at the filming of this video that you're watching right now, the video Alcoholics, Drug Addicts, and Permanent Depression Sufferers, Shared Background, Unresolved Trauma. That video itself hasn't even been up 24 hours at the filming of this video. 50 views, 19 comments, 3 thumbs up, 4 thumbs down. By the way, it's funny, if anyone thinks they're ever hurting me in any way by giving me a thumbs down, I love thumbs down, because I don't want to make videos that everyone's going to love. I want to make videos that challenge people. So if I can get an equal ratio of dislikes and likes, I'm actually happy. That's actually a compliment to me. With that being said, this has a great comment stream so far. 19 comments already as I'm looking at this. Again, the video is Alcoholics, Drug Addicts, and Permanent Depression Sufferers, Shared Background, Unresolved Trauma. So here's one of the things that came up in the comments as you look through them. Someone had stated that, well, you can't put people who suffer from depression in the same category as people who are drug addicts or alcoholics, because drug addicts and alcoholics can hurt other people. They can destroy other people's lives. So we can't put everybody in the same category. But I do not agree with that. I, in my own life, more times than I can recall, more times than I could give examples of in this one video, I can think of many examples of people I know who hurt people around them because they were depressed. Now here, let's be clear. When I say depressed, I don't mean one thing happened and then they, were depressed for a little bit and then they got over it. No, I mean those kind of people who, for the rest of their lives, will have to function thanks to Prozac or whatever kind of pill it is to help the chemical imbalance and all that stuff. People who, without their meds, are going to be depressed. Not someone who's experiencing temporary depression. There's definitely a difference between temporary depression and being the kind of person who has to survive off of medication, big pharma, in order to function. Well, that's the people I'm talking about here. Many times in my life, I have witnessed people who suffer from that kind of regular depression, and they definitely hurt other people. They definitely hurt other people's lives. And I'll give you just some examples. These stories are so common. It especially comes into play when the person is a parent, and then they're raising kids that way. And then the kid sees that parent as an example, and therefore it reshapes that child's mind. Now, I'll give you some fictional examples, but please know that what I'm about to share with you, I've seen it in the real world with people I know in real life. Give you an example. One of my favorite movies is Garden State with Zach Braff. The whole plot of that movie was he got upset with his mother when he was like 7 years old because she was always depressed for no reason, as he stated. So out of frustration, he shoves her and she falls back and breaks her back on the dishwasher door, which was out, which therefore paralyzes her the rest of the life. His dad, being a psychiatrist, prescribed him on a whole cocktail of all these medications so that he basically would try to help him deal with that, knowing that he was the reason his mother would be paralyzed the rest of her life, a paraplegic or whatever. And ultimately, that reshaped his life. That's just one example of many that in a movie, but more so important in my own life. I know people who ultimately they themselves ended up being psychologically negatively affected because their own parent was unreliable when it came to how they were going to act each day based on how depressed they were. And then that child ultimately modeled their behavior after the parent and became that way too. And it was this vicious cycle. I've seen that so many times. So there's no way that I'm going to hear anyone say that people who suffer from depression don't hurt other people. I can definitely think of many examples of where because often people who suffer from depression, they don't know how to socialize on a regular basis with other people. So then that person becomes the distraction, and everybody in the family or group of friends starts talking, well, where's that person? What are they doing? Why aren't they here? Why don't they want to be involved? And it just becomes a big distraction. And then distrust happens, walls build up, all this happens. So yes, people who suffer from depression they do hurt people. They don't mean to hurt people. That's not the point. It doesn't matter that you mean to hurt someone. It's like saying that alcoholics mean to hurt people or the drug addicts mean to hurt people. They're too caught up in being an alcoholic and affected by the alcohol or the drugs to be able to necessarily rationalize how they're treating other people, which is the same thing with depression. And ultimately the whole point of me making these videos about this is to say, as it said in the title, shared background, which is unresolved trauma. Our society wants to forget about that part. They want to tell you to go to an AA meeting. They want to tell you to go to a program because you're a drug addict. They want to tell you take this Prozac or whatever big pharma drug it is, and that's the solution. But they're not addressing the actual trauma that was involved in people's lives. I have a lot more to say about this, but I'll save it for another video. Remember, I'm just some random guy on the internet. I have no authority. Feel free to prove me wrong as much as you like. It doesn't affect my emotions, my feelings to say that I'm ignorant, wrong. But don't waste your time saying that I should do my research, because I don't care. I'm just an entertainer who talks about things that I think are engaging, challenging, and taboo. So I'm claiming no authority. I refuse to do my research. If there's any research being done, it's right here in the comments section, and it's what you're about to say.